Go to school. Get a good job. Work hard. Save your money. And eventually, you'll become financially secure. But is that actually how wealth is created? If it were, the hardest workers would always be the richest people. But we know the world doesn't work that way. So what do wealthy people understand about money that most people don't? Imagine two people. Both earn the same amount of money. The first person spends almost everything maintaining a lifestyle. By the end of the month, almost nothing remains. The second person asks a different question. Not, what can I buy? What can this money produce? That single question can completely change how you see money. Most people are taught to think about money as something they earn. You work. You receive a salary. You spend it. Then you work again. But your income is often connected to your time. And your time has a limit. So what happens when you stop working? Wealth builders often ask a different question. What can I own that produces value? And then there is media. One piece of work can be created once, yet continue reaching new people long after the creator has stopped working on it. And unlike physical labor, distribution no longer has to happen one person at a time. A single piece of useful work can potentially reach millions, while the creator remains in one place. But this kind of leverage is not new. For most of history, the ability to produce and distribute at enormous scale belonged to institutions with the money to build the infrastructure. If you wanted to reach a mass audience, you usually needed someone who already owned the machinery of distribution, the factory, the printing press, the broadcast network. Then the internet changed the equation. Distribution stopped being only large institutions could afford and became something an individual could access from a laptop. For most of history, building something at scale usually required an organization. Today, in some industries, a single individual can access tools that were once available only to institutions. In the past, publishing required networks. Today, anyone can publish. The challenge is no longer access, it is creating value. For most of history, a teacher could only reach the people in the room. Today, a lesson can outlive the moment it was taught and continue helping people the teacher may never meet. Today, many businesses can serve customers across borders from a single laptop. But the principle remains the same. Value must be exchanged. Software introduced a new kind of leverage. Software can often be copied and distributed at almost no additional cost. A product can be useful. A service can solve a real problem. But if nobody knows it exists, its impact remains limited. In the modern economy, attention has become a form of leverage. This is where many people take a wrong turn. They see stories of overnight success and assume leverage creates wealth by itself. But leverage is not a source of value, it is an amplifier. So after all the books, strategies, investments, business, and technology, we arrive back at the same question we started with. What is it that wealthy people actually understand differently? The answer begins with a simple shift in perspective. Instead of asking only how much money someone earns, ask where that money goes, what it buys, and what it becomes after the transaction. The first principle is simple, but difficult. Create something genuinely useful. Solve a problem, improve a process, teach a skill. A business without customers cannot be saved by advertising. A product without usefulness cannot be rescued by technology. Before leverage can multiply anything, there must be something worth multiplying, or make someone's life meaningfully better. The second principle is ownership. Wealth can become more durable when your money buys assets that continue creating value after you stop working. The third principle is allocation. Every dollar you earn can be consumed, saved, or directed towards something that may create more value. The fourth principle is leverage. Use capital, people, technology, or media to multiply the impact of your own effort. The fifth principle is time. Reinvesting productive returns can allow growth to build on previous growth, turning patience into a powerful financial force. So perhaps the better question is not, how can I make more money? But what can I build, own, or invest in that keeps creating value? Because wealth is not simply what you earn. It is also the productive capacity you build around yourself, and the value that capacity can create over time. Put it all together. Create value, own productive assets, allocate capital, use leverage, and give time a chance to compound the results. If every hour of your income depends on your labor, stopping work means stopping income. Ownership changes the equation, because assets can keep working. The goal, then, is not to escape work. It is to stop making your labor the only thing standing between you and your financial future. So perhaps the secret is never how to get rich quickly. It was learning how value, ownership, capital, leverage, and time work together. So the next time money reaches your hands, pause before spending it. Ask yourself one question: what could this money become? Money can disappear when you consume it, but when directed towards something productive, it can become part of a system that creates value tomorrow. Perhaps wealth is less about having more money and more about owning a growing share of the things that create value. Maybe the most financial question is not what you were taught to earn, but what you were never taught to own.
This is the ultimate reality. Question everything, especially the things you were never taught to question.